Welcome to Come to Mama, where we're nurturing souls. I'm back again tonight, and I wanted to discuss um, a couple of things popped up today. Some messages that I wanted to get out. I believe that the collective again is going through a lot of things, and um, so one of the topics that I wanted to discuss is codependency, and um, And before I go any further into codependency, I'm going to pull a couple of cards. I'm just winging it here. I'm new at this. I'm hoping that eventually, it will become interactive with people once people subscribe more, and I will build and change as and evolve as I go along. But I'm going to be pulling a couple of tarot cards to see what's going on with the collective, and then I will get my message out of what I hmm there it goes. All right. Spirit, what is the message for the collective? What does the collective need to know? And let me change my glasses. We have the Four of Cups. At this time to get away, oh, I'm sorry. It's a time to get away by yourself and just relax and recenter yourself for a while before you're getting back into your daily grind. It can mean that you need to reevaluate some areas of your life or possibly what you are just settling for, where you are, and with opportunities having been missed. Hmm. I can identify with that. Seems like things have been very stagnant lately, and just the whole energy of trying to get busy and get on your path. It's so many distractions, and just the energy seems to just be delayed and stagnant. So I could see that even in my life. So I'm imagining that, you know, there are opportunities that are being offered to us, but we're either not paying attention or we are uh, don't want the opportunities that are being. Um, Here's another one, and then the Two of Cups. But either we don't want to be um, what's being offered to us at this moment in time. Maybe where we're at, we feel that there's something better out there, and instead of jumping to what we had in the past or what may be around right now, we're just kind of not really wanting to take on anything that we're really not um, sure that it's something that we want. Uh, I know for me, I am particular about the things that I have in my life and the people I have around me. You know, uh, I don't just deal with any and everybody. So I'm particular about, so even though I may have gotten some attention from certain people, I'm single currently right now. But I don't want to deal with everybody just because someone's, paying me attention. Um, but anyway, let's go to the next one. So the next card we have is Two of Cups. And this describes a coupling of some sort of some sort, a marriage, a partnership, a union. You may be in the honeymoon stage of a relationship or endeavor when all seems right. This card can also represent a new stage of happiness and harmony in an existing relationship. This card encompasses a happy, positive, loving feeling. I also feel that a lot of us are actually um, looking back at a connection that we have with somebody that we really do love and we really do want to have in our lives, but for whatever reason, you're no longer dealing with them anymore because of whatever situation that occurred. But I think that with the Four of Cups, this shows this person, they're looking at that one particular person, that cup of love and emotion, and there's three other cups there, but they want that one in particular, right? And so then you also have the Two of Cups. So you might be looking back at a past love that you had at one point in time that you're missing, or they may be looking back at you. This could be the opposite direction. It could be somebody that you were dealing with that, um, for whatever reason, things didn't work out. And so, they are missing you and they're looking back at you and they don't want to move on, because of the memories of love with you. Okay, let's see if there's anything else Spirit has. And if that represents like a job as well, it could just mean that, maybe um, you don't see anything else around you. You're staying in a job that you feel you can't do much better, and so you're sticking with that one instead of realizing that there's so many places hiring around you and may have may be able to offer you a lot more, but you're stuck stagnant on um, that one particular job, thinking that it's the only um, opportunities, but there's plenty more out there. Spirit, is there anything else that we need to know? And this is going to segue into what I have to talk about unconditional love and I'm sorry, codependency. So let's see here. It says, uh, "Hello, I'm good, thank you." Um, the King of Swords is a somewhat stern figure who is an absolute command, but who can be trusted to be fair in his judgment and decisions. The King of Swords is an assertive, professional decision maker with high intellect and a knack for leadership. He represents big decisions to come and a need to take control and set boundaries while making firm commitments to your goals. And I think that we need to embody this actual energy right now with everything that's going on, and thinking that we have missed opportunities or past loves. There's just so much more out there, and we need to embody this King of Swords energy so that we may be able to move forward and get out of this stagnation, because it's pretty tough. Let me pull some oracle cards, and because I don't want to be on here too long, but I wanted to get the little message that I channeled today. And I'm pulling from Cosmic Journey. Is there any messages, Spirit, for the collective? Queen of Shiva, you're my first little person that popped in. All right. Your words create worlds. Wow. Your words create worlds. And with that being said, with everything that I've said tonight about things being stagnant, if you've listened to me before in the past, like I always say, yes, they are. Um, when you're feeling down, when you're feeling like, the situation, as I stated before, might be stagnant, or you might be feeling like you're missing out on something else or someone else, or, you're longing for something that um, you want that you can't have sometimes. It's important, how you talk to yourself, and how that's how you create and manifest your world. And, with that, the reason why I say that is I had wrote down a couple things, and it was about codependency. And there's a song by this artist called Moses Sumney, and he talks about, he finds it hard to pass this love up, because usually he feels like he's strong and he understands, what relationships are, um, but he's, thinking about the possibilities of codependency, because sometimes love just really keeps you alive, and it just makes you crave someone so bad that you're willing to be weak for them. And, I think a lot of times, though, it's, when we have people in our lives that we're codependent over, and we think about all the time when we wish they were in our lives and they can't be or they won't be any longer. It's important that we exercise self love for ourselves. And so, one of the things the messages that I want to get out was that a lot of times, people feel bad for feeling the love that they have for a person. And what I always tell people, and what I tell myself, which that saying of your words create worlds, is that not even forgive yourself. It's okay to have loved somebody, and it's okay for that situation to have not have worked out, because really it was a catalyst for you to learn more about you. um, and even when you catch yourself sometimes thinking about your person or the situations, if it ended, it still was some beautiful things that occurred that made you feel beautiful, and made that it brought you alive to a certain extent. And so, you can't deny those types of situations. You have to understand that, there was some enjoyment to it, and sometimes things have to end, right? And let's see. So I think that somehow do we get beyond those situations, of longing for a past love, or, letting go of a situation. And I wrote down that just being honest with yourself and being self aware of your emotions, um, of the connections, and what they meant to you as an individual. Even if, if the, let's see, you know, sometimes you have to ask yourself why you crave to be with somebody that, may have started out great, but after a while, when it was time to let go and you held on to it, it's other reasons why you may be holding on to situations, and it could be, toxic. It's it's a toxic reflection of past life and early life traumas. So for instance, you had a absent father from your home, or you had traumas as a child with many different things that could have happened to you. I won't get into any details, which caused you to behave, uh, it caused you to behave in a way where you hold on to things and situations, and you want to possess them, or, and so ultimately, once that experience is over with that person, you still want to hold on to them. But, that person served their purpose, and that was the catalyst for you to learn and understand about yourself. And maybe it is to love yourself more, and to understand that, there's some healing that you may need to do. um, and let's see, what else did I wrote down. I think it's important that you're not ashamed of yourself for those experiences, or even being ashamed of feeling love for a person. And that's what I find that what I do, because I've been down this road, is that instead I talk to myself with love, and what I do is I also send that person, off with love. What I say is, hey, that person's obviously we're not talking anymore, but what I do say is that, hey, what we had was beautiful, and then things came to an end, and yes, we may have hurt each other, and I'm sending you off with love, and I hope you grow and thrive in your life and do whatever it is that you need to do that makes you happy. And and then I wouldn't say I forgive myself, I just understand that that was just it was something that happened and it's over with now. But I had a conversation earlier with a family member who, you know, had a past love and she still cares for him. And I'm like, that's okay. It's okay for you to love them, but it doesn't mean you're going to go back to them. It doesn't mean you're going to get, put yourself back into a situation that you know is not going to work for you. I associated forgiveness with love, and I realized that, yeah, I know what you mean. Let me put my glasses on so I can read a little bit. I'm having issues here tonight too. Queen of Sheba, that happens to a lot of us. And and there's nothing wrong with that, because what happens is that we just keep going through the same cycle, right? And then it hurts us until we finally realize that this just probably isn't for me any longer. Um, and yeah, it comes to a point where you do have to let go. But then when you're healing, when you're getting through the situation, you're healing from it, and you have an understanding and you're being aware of you know the situation after the fact. Sometimes you may long for those people, but what I do personally is I just love myself through it, and I um, send them off with love. I don't sit here and say, oh man, I hope they have, a hard life, and I hope that, they have a horrible situation, happen to them, and they're going to pay for what they did. I just send them off with love, because I know that something better is coming my way, but I needed to learn something from that relationship and a lot of times it's actually self-love is what it is, and boundaries, so that we don't put ourselves in situations that we allow somebody to continuously um, overstep their boundaries with us. As children, we didn't really have a choice, but once we're an adult and we understand that we're no longer children and that we can enforce our boundaries, so that we can protect ourselves um, from people who are out there trying to, you know, yeah, yeah, and I agree. And self love, you know, one of the things that I wrote at the end is that having unconditional love for yourself um, is really one of the most important things. Having unconditional love for yourself and understanding for yourself. Um, but speaking to yourself with love is really important, because that card that I pulled earlier about your words create your worlds, you could really create a very negative situation in your life if you don't, try to turn those negatives into positives. And it's just really having an outlook and understanding. Um, that this was just something that you went through. It was a catalyst to yourself. It's all That's why they mean by mirrors. It's like people make you see yourself for who and what you really are. And then from there, you have to make the decision on how you're going to move forward, or you can keep going through the same cycles. So, yeah, that's just something that I wanted to get out there because I find myself at times looking back at past situations, but I don't spend too much time on them. I make sure that I tell myself, um, it was beautiful. Some of the things were great, and some of them were very painful. And, I'm still here and I love myself, and it taught me a lot. And, hopefully, you know, that person moves on with their life, and, it's, makes them, they move on with their life and they learn their lessons, and not horrible lessons. Just, I want, like, for instance, my ex-husband, I want him to be happy. I don't want him to be stuck and, hurt. I want him to be happy and fulfilled in his life. And I want the same thing. So that's how I look at things. Um, and, that's how I manifest my future, is talking to myself with love and not holding on, making my heart hardened because of the pain that was caused by a relationship. But thank you for joining me, Queen of Sheba. This is my first time interacting uh, online. So I was just going to keep this short. I just wanted to get it out, and I'm just trying to figure things. So I really appreciate chatting with you, and gratitude. And I'm kind of happy because this is my first time that ever happened. So makes me want to come back on more and try to get my content together a little bit more. Thank you. Appreciate that. Well, I'm going to close it down tonight, but I'll be back on probably tomorrow. And maybe I'll talk to you again. Take care of yourself. And anybody else who hears this, have a good night.